What's up, fishing world? Tanner Lutz here with Congo Fishing, and today we're going to be talking about cold water. Not just any cold water jigs. I'm going to show you how to make 3 different jigs to let you have success in cold water. Alright, so we're going to start with the ball head jig you see there in the middle. It's a great cold water jig because the slow rate of fall and the good natural action of the built-in rabbit fur trailer that you're about to see me hand tie. Okay, I'm going to start by wrapping the nylon thread and cinching it to the hook. Basically, you just wrap over your tag end here. Then you get it about 1/8 of the way down the hook, stop, wrap backwards, cut your tag off. So I'm going to keep the thread towards the back of the hook, and I'm going to take my rabbit hide and I'm going to build in a trailer here. We're going to let it stick out kind of on the other side. Then we're going to do one exactly the same on the other side. Basically, this is your built-in trailer. Works really well in cold water. Gives it a lot of natural looking action. Then we're going to bring it. Okay, so what I'm about to do is I'm about to take a strip of rabbit hide dyed green pumpkin and I'm going to cinch one side of the hide down below, down by the trailer like I'm doing right now. And then I'm basically going to take that and start wrapping it around the hook so it flares that rabbit fur out so you really get that pulsing pendulum action under the water. And every time I wrap it, I'm going to pull that fur backwards so it doesn't wrap on itself and look weird. The next step is to pull back the rest of the fur, and I'm going to cinch down the other end of the rabbit hide that you wrapped around with the nylon thread. Basically so it just locks it in place. That's going nowhere. It's going to be extremely durable for you. Now you're just going to cut the tag end of the hide there off, the hide strip, and you're going to do a couple wraps with your nylon thread, get that hair pushed back a little bit and lay a base down, and then you're going to start your silicone skirt on top of all your fur. When tying on your silicone skirt, you want about 2/3 of the actual rubber silicone pushed up against your ball head of your jig. What that'll do for you is exactly what you need under the water. It'll flare that stuff out like something in defense mode, like a little crawdad or whatever, throwing up its claws at a big bass. Everything that crawls on the bottom has a natural defense like that. So the key here is natural, natural, natural. You want that thing to look like a little crawdad in defense mode. And that's exactly what you're getting by that silicone skirting. And after you get enough silicone skirting on there, whatever your preference is, I like a thicker one because it moves more water and sends out more vibration for the bass to really key in on. And basically what I'm doing now is cinching it down and making the final wraps up on it. So I take a loop with my hand, with my 2 fingers like so, and I wrap it around the silicone skirting where I've been wrapping. And then basically all I do is pull it tight. And that cinches it down. You want to do that about 8 times. And all you got left is you get to cut your nylon tag off. And you got yourself a mighty fine, natural looking ball head jig that you're ready to fish with tomorrow. Beautiful. Hopefully you guys learned something from this. You can make a ton of these for pretty cheap. All you got to do is get the materials at Bass Pro Shops. And you're ready to roll. So on to our second cold water jig here. The only difference between this and the ball headed jig is the color and the head style. So I'm going to time lapse this one up and talk a little bit how to fish this jig in difference to the ball head jig. So how you want to fish the football head jig is you want to focus on the fish that are in deeper water, getting ready for the water temperature to get warmer. so they can move up to the shallows to spawn or feed. And how you key on these is you cast out in a little deeper water and you really drag it slowly on the bottom. You're running into rocks, running into brush, deflecting off stuff, trying to trigger those bigger mud-hugging female fish that are glued to the bottom to come up and suck this jig in when it's just pulsating in the water with that natural trailer. They'll come up and slip it up every time. And our last cold water jig is the white hair jig, and we're going to mimic shad with this one and stuff. Much more different than the other two, but I'll explain it all and give you a step-by-step on how to make it so you can be successful in cold water. So we're going to start by cinching the nylon thread to the hook, and I want to talk about fishing this a little bit more. We're going to add some flash blue to this too to really get it sparkling in the water, really reflective, because shad are extremely reflective fish. If you ever seen them in the sun, you swear little mirrors are swimming around down there. So when you're fishing this, you want to really just jerk it off the bottom and just slack line, just snap it off the bottom or snap it where suspended fish are sitting. And that really is a reaction strike, not only because it mimics a shad dying and it's an easy meal in cold water fishing for a big bass to just suck up a dying shad, but it'll get the competitive side of fish going. It'll not only think it's dying, but it'll think it's trying to get away from another fish that's hungry. That world is extremely competitive. Fish eat when they have opportunity. And when they think their opportunity is getting taken away, they're going to act on it really quickly. And that's why this is so successful technique in cold water. So now we're going to start tying in our bucktail. Mostly white, but you're going to see me throw in a little blue and chartreuse to the top of this jig. And that basically is just a calling for dirtier water fish. Like I fish a lot of dirty water. And basically that's just going to give it a more of a bright aroma under the water, which will call in more fish from farther distance. And cinching that one up like all the rest, and there you go. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something from these 3 cold water jig techniques. And if you liked it, want to see more, or just learn something, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. Stay focused.